Grease.
All right, ready to go here?
We are ready to go.
All right, call here at 8 o'clock. Everyone is here. Does not appear to be any public for public comments, so we'll hop right into action items for donation.
We have one donation from the Amway Corporation to Innovation Central to fund art supplies and materials for the art department.
All right, is there a motion to approve that donation?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries forward. Nothing. All right. Reports.
Like I say, we have our September financial statements. They were in your packet. It's still pretty early in the year, so not a lot has happened yet. There's a few things where it starts to, some of them may appear a little high, but those are typically items that we have to purchase, like our insurance for the district. We paid up front at the beginning of the year. So other than that, everything seems to be in line with where we are at the start of the year. Any questions?
Is there any residual impact from the government shutdown at all? Anything?
Not at this point. We were running into a little bit more questions with the state and not funding Common Core and not letting Department of Ed proceed with that. But now that they have resolved that issue, we can get back into working on our grant applications and working on that. So, but the federal government, no, there was not any fallout at this point from that.
Any other questions?
Well, could I follow up on, so the Common Core will be more of a grant process then? There won't
They
be
had,
direct funding?
but part of the state aid legislation had like forbidden Department of Ed of doing anything. So their staff couldn't even process any of the grant applications that were in process. So our big consolidated app that we're going back and forth and resolving questions on, they couldn't work on. So we could still work on it, but they couldn't work on it to get the questions resolved, so.
So it's not based per pupil, it's more, you have to apply and.
The Title I, yes.
For Title I?
Yeah.
As opposed to the Common Core reimbursement? How will that happen when the funding, is that gonna be, now that they've reinstituted that there will be funding for Common Core, it was taken away, is that gonna be, is that a separate line item that we
I
have to?
don't believe it will be a
No.
separate line item.
Okay, it'll be part of.
Yep.
But Dr. Randall, because for our Title I, II, III, all that, we have, everything we purchase is around the Common Core to assist. So once they said
Wow.
no,
Yeah,
then we would have had to really rethink
yeah.
our business and how do we deliver services.
Any other questions?
Purchases. There are only a couple on those. Again, it was in your agenda. They're replacing some of our computers out at the training lab at Hillcrest. And then our subsystem requires a contract with the company, so we're renewing that contract. And then I think operations has one.
Yes, under the sinking fund item, there's a contract with SMA to provide construction services to monitor and address the evaluation of the masonry repair at Central. We needed someone with some expertise as we get into things to make sure we're making the proper repair, to monitor the different types of repair, and to advise us when we're out of scope.
You're talking about exterior brickwork?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions concerning the purchasing agenda?
I just want to make a comment that I think Mr. Ross brings these items up, and maybe I'm sure he'll read these minutes. In terms of, it went from an initial bid, and I left my computer at home, but the
6,000.
yeah, and then it's quite significantly higher, and I know you always address this, and I think we should just have this clarification that we knew this would be bidded out in several jobs, et cetera, because people get concerned that you go for this low bid and you didn't necessarily, you didn't vet it well. But there's always this specter raised of you chose somebody and then we knew it would inflate to a bigger expense, but this is all part of the process you've gone through in the bidding, but if you can just speak to that a little bit.
Let me just clarify one thing. This is a professional service, so it's not bid. It is selected by qualifications. The cost fee then is evaluated to make sure that it's in line, but it's not the traditional bid as we would a contractor. It's done in phases so that we can control the fee, that it's accurate to the work. The first phase, which was around $6,000, was to do, there was some minimal design work, evaluate the types of repairs that needed to take place, and to develop and put together the bidding documents for the contractor. This fee is larger because it is more time consuming for them to go up, work with the contractor and evaluate to make sure they're doing the right kind of repair, because we do pay depending on different types of repairs. And it's quite time consuming. But for them to give us an accurate fee before the plans and specs were developed would have been very hard and probably would have been inflated.
It's great. So due diligence, and,
Yeah.
yeah, good. Thank you.
On to warm, safe, and dry here.
Warm, safe, and dry. In your packet, it still lists quite a few projects. Most of them are winding down in punch list and being finalized out. All the roofs are nearly done. It's just a few minor items. There are really two items I want to address. One is the masonry work is starting at Central, and we'll be working up towards the top. There will be a point we'll have to close off the front entry for a short period of time. The other one that I want to address is we are in the process of bidding the heating control work in the city, the old Creston building, just to make sure we're all talking the same building. Those bids will be taken on November 6th. We have two options. One is to bring them back to the November board meeting, or November Finance Committee meeting, and then go to the December board meeting. Or, if you're acceptable, take them directly on the purchasing agenda to the November 18 meeting. We will do either way. I do want to make sure you're aware, it's quite a large contract. Our budget for that is about $350,000. So we're expecting over $300,000 on that bid. And I just wanted to know your comfort level if we took it straight on purchasing.
I'm fine with November. Anyone else fine just to go to the full board, just so they can get going faster, or?
When would we want to start work?
We will probably start work mid-December. It depends on how much material they have to order ahead of time.
Got it. So there's and with HVAC, I mean, they can be 3-4 weeks out on a critical part. So there's a time-sensitive nature here, right? So what you're saying, to be clear, is you'd rather go to the board, straight to the board, if it's okay with us?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, fine with me.
And it's gonna be within 350?
If the bids come above the budgeted amount, we'll have to revisit what we're doing. We won't bring it forward then.
Okay, sounds great.
Any other questions concerning the warm, safe, and dry budgets or projects? Right. Anything else for you guys?
That's all we have.
All right. Anybody else have anything yet?
Nope.
Very good. Meeting adjourned? All right.